Yo guys, Gamer Nemi here. So there's been a hot discussion among Steve mains and Steve players around on whether his Tekken 8 version of himself is nerfed or buffed. So this is what I wanted to talk about, because man, there's so much to talk about Tekken 8 Steve, and it's really difficult to tell if he's been buffed overall or nerfed. So I'm gonna talk about like his biggest changes overall as one. I'm not going to do like a breakdown of his changes, just a discussion of his changes. TMM did a breakdown of Steve's changes. I'm going to leave the link for the video to his channel if you guys want to check out the video for yourselves, because I'm not going to go through all his changes. I'm just going to talk about his big ones and just his overall meta shift and what changes about his character. So let's get right into it. Alright, so Steve has had a nerf to his overall damage. Now this really hits his character so much, because as you guys know, with Steve, making a comeback is really difficult. You don't have much outside of the rage drive and rage, but other than that, everything else he has does so low damage. His low pokes, for example, down 1, full crouch down forward 1, down 2, they all do like 11 damage. They're basically just pokes, right? You don't have any big hit moves to make that comeback factor. So moves like back 1, for example, back 1 used to be is 20 damage on counter hit in Tekken 7 right now, but in Tekken 8 it does 13 damage on counter hit, bro. 13. That's a huge nerf. 10 damage on normal hit, 13 damage on counter hit. So it's a very big nerf. Very big nerf. Our boy is suffering so hard from damage, it's insane. To make things worse, even Masaji, the Gatling gun wall combo ender, has been nerfed. It did 41 damage in Tekken 7, it now does 30 damage. That's an 11 damage difference. That's huge. That's huge. So I don't even know if this will be his optimal wall combo ender. Maybe his new string might be his new wall combo, and I actually haven't checked out the damage on this move. I'm sorry about that, but this is huge. It's a very huge nerf. Overall combo damage is important in Tekken for comeback factors, you know, and Tekken life leads, because remember, you are playing against the clock. So it's a very huge hit on our boy. So you know, other moves like down forward 204 just doesn't launch anymore, which means it's practically a damage nerf. You know, down back 3-2 does not knock down anymore, damage nerf. You know, so back 2 not launching anymore, damage nerf. It's crazy. Like, it's really bad. This is the worst thing about Steve in Tekken 8 right now. It's the damage. His damage is very low, and let's just say you're gonna have to throw a lot of punches for you to actually make a comeback. It's insane, but what are you gonna do? You're trying to balance the character in a sense. So we move, my boys, we move. Now, the nerf to some of his counter hit moves can be up for discussion on whether they are actually nerfs or buffs. Now, I say this in the sense that back 1, like I said before, has been nerfed in terms of damage, and down 4 2 does not launch anymore. But the thing is, in Tekken 8, not many characters have fast hitting counter hit moves that launch for, like, you know, full combos. So is it a buff in Steve's favor or is it a nerf? That's a difficult thing to tell about Steve, right? We have to wait until we actually have the game in, you know, probably like 6 months of gameplay to see the meta shift in how his counter hit game really is. Because like we said, guys, almost every character has had their magic force nerfed, right? No one has quick counter hit launchers. So as much as Steve's back 1 damage nerf might hurt, he still has a quick counter hit too, right? As much as down forward 2 hurts in terms of not launching anymore, the Shiro combo gone, RIP, it's still, you know, a counter hit 2 that guarantees something, guarantees Wildman outstanding 1-2 or Masaji on counter hit, right? He also has a new homing counter hit move that guarantees, I think, forward, is it 1 in Lionheart, his new stance, which goes into hit. So in terms of gameplay, counter hit gameplay, Steve still has this, but overall it's been nerfed, right? Like I said, back 1 damage nerf, down forward 2 not launching anymore. I think while standing 2-2 now is nerfed. Outstanding 2 is to launch on counter if you guys don't remember. So it's now a 13 frame Punisher, outstanding 2-2, which goes into Lionheart. Now, I don't know why they gave Steve this, because I don't think Steve needs a 13 frame Punisher. You know, outstanding 1-2 is very chunky, right? Very chunky, punishes everything. So it does count as a 13 frame Punisher, in my opinion, does very good damage. So but you know, we'll take it. You know, it's RIP outstanding 2 counter hit, but we're gonna take it. Yeah, so overall it's hard to tell if his counter hit game is nerfed due to, you know, everyone else being nerfed in terms of counter hit gameplay. You know, so for this one we're gonna have to wait. So, but I want to hear what you guys think about this one, man. This one is a very difficult one. Do you think his counter hit game is nerfed, or it's better due to the fact that, you know, every other character's fast counter hit game has been nerfed, except like characters like Leo, of course, who have the same kind of game style? So what do you guys think? This one is a very difficult one. It's a very difficult one for me. So I'm gonna give my opinion at the end of the video. So yeah, let's move. Okay, so sticking to his identity, it seems Namco are trying to get rid of a lot of his launchers and just like overall knockdowns. So in the sense that Back 2 does not launch anymore, right? You just get a guaranteed Sonic Fang, which is a hit engager. So Back 2 to Sonic Fang, I'm guaranteed. Moves like Back 1, 2 is gone, so no War Splat, right? He does Back 1 into the new homing move that goes into Lionheart. So there's a bit of emphasis on moves that leave the character standing, but like they're heavily negative or you're heavily plus. It's kind of like a new thing with Steve now. You know, down back 3-2 as well, the chip low at the wall, the knockdown is gone. So it leaves the opponent standing and it leaves you, I think, +7 whilst in the new stance in Lionheart. But the thing is, these moves will leave you in stance that has very, like a stance has sick mix-ups, right? There's a high, which is a guard break. It guarantees you 10 frames, so it does, if you do Lionheart 2, boom, the huge guard break we see in the trailer, you can get 1-1-2 afterwards, or you can go mid, which is like the mini rocket launcher, boom, goes into hit, or you can do, I think it's forward 2, which is like a huge knock, which is like -13, but insta screws. So they're trading off Steve's knockdowns for, you know, plus frames that leave characters standing. That leaves you standing and the opponent standing as well, but plus frames in your favor. So again, it's difficult to tell if this is a nerf, you know, or it's a buff. That's what I'm talking about. It's so difficult to tell right now on how good Steve is, because it seems bad, but like if you think about it, it's really, really good, because you have insane frames. Like the frames are so good and Lionheart is such a strong stance. So what do you guys think about this change? So at the war, guys, there is no mix-up now. Like there's no knockdown at the war, guys. You have to always leave the opponent standing, but the rocket launcher still knocks down. It's a hitting edge, but it still knocks down, so you can get a worse platform from doing that as well. So the rocket launcher down back 3 mix-up is still, you know, it's still good. It's still viable. You're still able to mix your opponent up at the wall. And then another thing, like I said with the launchers, it's like it's always been Steve's identity to not really have good launchers. So right now you don't have any 15 frame standing Punisher. He still does have forward 1+2 is 15 frame punish they give him in Tekken 7. Back 2 is gone. While standing full crouch down forward 2 is still there, but it's like 18 frames. So of course launch punishing -15 moves won't be Steve's strong point. It's his biggest weakness. So not having knockdowns, bad punishment, and low damage are like Steve's really, really bad weaknesses in Tekken 7. But again, we'll see how all this turns out, given the fact that Steve is still a counter hit god in this game, considering everyone else's counter hit game has been nerfed. Okay, and finally, I wanted to talk about Steve's hit mechanic. Is Steve's hit mechanic viable enough for you to actually consider it as a huge comeback factor? Is it as good as his rage drive from Tekken 7? Now, first things first is that his hit has a clinch throw, right? So if you do forward 3 or extended dark 3, you have access to 2 throws, or a clinch throw, you know, 1+3 or 2+4. So it's a mix up between breaking the clinch with 2 or breaking the clinch with 1. So the 1 gives you like an animation that leaves you +14, which guarantees a Sonic Fang. So it gives you a guaranteed Sonic Fang. If you're not in hit, boom, 1 into Sonic Fang into hit engager, right? That's sick. That's very, very strong. Then the 2 does 50 damage raw. So it's very, very good. It's very, very good. So now the thing about this is that if you've played Armor King, if you've played King, if you've played Anna, if you've played any character with chain throws, it's not a guarantee that you're always gonna land these mix-ups. That's the thing. As good as this looks, they are breakable, right? It's not like, you know, Laz forward 1+2 shoulder, sorry, forward 3+4 shoulder, mix up from full screen. No, you actually have to get in and you actually have to land the grab. And keep in mind, the grabs are highs and they can be ducked. Now, the thing about it, it's two-faced, right? The thing about this is extended duck 1 in Tekken 7 launches, right? You have to do the Shiro combo. Extended duck 1 into Shiro combo, cancel into screw. So this will be very, very strong if extended duck 1 still launches on normal hit. Like, please, I hope it still launches. I haven't seen anyone talk about this. I haven't seen any videos on this, so it's kind of difficult to tell right now. But if this launches to make it very strong, that means you can scare them with the extended duck 1 or the grabs, right? The clinch grabs, right? This will be very, very good. And the thing is, Steve also has a manual entry into extended duck. So you press down forward 3+4 and he does an immediate extended duck. So meaning immediately you do down forward 3+4, then you press 1 and 2, they'll get the enhanced version, the blue spark version. But the thing is, this eats up a bar of hit, right? And the clinch throws as well take up 1 bar of hit. So if you want to do the extended duck manual input into a clinch throw, that's 2 bars of hit. If you went into manual hit whilst doing this, your hit is done, right? So you guys see where I'm going with this. You won't really rely on using the manual extended duck input into clinch throw because it takes up so many bars of the hit. You have to do this the old-fashioned way. Hold forward 3 into extended duck and force the mix-up. But this will be very, very good due to the fact that, of course, clinch throws at 50-50, they have to guess, right? And 50 damage from a throw is really, really good. And again, the one guarantees 14 frames, so you can do crazy stuff. Instead of going for Sonic Hack all the time, you can go for like back 2 into Lionheart, right into guard break, into 1-1-2, into forward 3. Like, it's crazy. His offense can be very, very, it can flow. Like, it's scary to think about off of the clinch 1. Like, it's, oh my god, like the creativity you can do from this is absurd. It's so good. It's really, really good. So like I said, I don't think this will be as good as Rage Drive Sonic Fang, because Rage Drive Sonic Fang was insane and the damage was crazy, right? 14 frame launcher. That has been taken away from Steve in Tekken 8 because Sonic Fang is a hit engager, yes, but if you do a hit dash out of it, it does not launch. It knocks down for a guaranteed down back 2, which is, oh man, this sucks. I thought they would bring back Rage Drive down forward 2, man. Rage Drive Sonic Fang, like Dragunov still has a Stako, bro. Why don't they give Steve a Sonic Fang back? It's insane. In a way, I understand how they nerfed it because it was too strong. It was a little bit too strong in Tekken 7, honestly. But like I said, guys, the clinch throw, again, it won't be, you know, something that will, man, like you can only get like 3 of the maximum, right? Now, I don't know if it drains the hit gauge if the opponent breaks a clinch, but I doubt it will. But I think, yeah, I don't think it will take up a hit gauge. Of course, not tested, not seen anywhere. But the clinch throw is something that Steve needed. Like I said, you can't always rely on low pokes with Steve to make a comeback. It's just so difficult. It's so difficult. You have to throw so many punches, bro. It's annoying sometimes. You put in so much work with this character just to lose. Like, bro. So the clinch throws, in my opinion, were needed and they look cool as fuck. Like, they're so cool. Then, one other part I want to talk about his hit is his backswing. He has like a new, you know, back Kempo, up back 3. Now, this will be really good if it works like Fang's back Kempo. If you can block immediately or cancel like Leo, it's gonna be so good because it has so much range. Like it creates so much whiff opportunities. And remember, he has an instant screw move out of this back Kempo move. So it'll be really, really good, honestly. Like against running to Dragunov, you know, very oppressive characters. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be really, really good. So Steve's hit is great. Like it's really, I actually love the creativity for his hit. But I don't think it's as good as, you know, Rage Steve from Tekken 7. So again, this is just speculation. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, I think it's okay, but not as good as Rage Steve. Okay, so final verdict, has Steve been nerfed or has Steve been buffed? Honestly, I think it's somewhere in between. I think Steve is in a balanced state and he is still strong to the point that he still has his core counter hit gameplay mechanic, which makes him such a very good character. He is still safe, very difficult to whiff punish, very difficult to punish overall. And this is what has always made this character good. He does have glaring weaknesses now. His damage is abysmal, it's very, very bad. his punishment is still not that great as well, and his comeback factor does still remain to be seen, depending on just how good that hit mechanic in Clinche is. So what do you guys think about Steve, the Steve changes we've seen so far? And do you think he's been nerfed overall or he's been buffed? So let me know in the comment section. And I really can't wait to play some Steve, bro. You guys know me, I'm a Steve main. You're gonna be seeing some hella Steve content, so please, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Don't wanna miss this content. So thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to watch my video. If you made this far, please don't forget to that like button and subscribe if you're new. And may the frame data be ever in your favor. GG.
These are the fists of a champion.